Good day, beautiful people. This is why I waited so long to have more children. I had my first child when I was 23 years old, and he's 21 now. I've had some tumultuous relationships throughout that time, but my son's father passed away in a car accident when my son was 2.5 years old. So that took me by surprise. And I knew then that I already wanted more children. I always wanted to have a lot of children, but marriage just didn't come for me in my 20s. When I was 30, I got married for the first time. And I was married for 5 years by default. And I say by default because of the 5 years, we were literally together, maybe two of it, all together under the same roof. We were separated so much, and that probably wouldn't have been the best situation to bring a child into. But at the same time, he would always say, well, let's wait, let's see what happens, let's wait, let's wait. So it was probably his way of just saying he didn't want any more children because he already had some. And so we stayed married for 5 years. After that divorce, I stayed abstinent for about 6 years after that. I was in relationships, but, because of the abstinence, that deterred a lot of men from becoming even more serious with me for whatever reason. And I also found that a lot of men my age and older did not want to have any more children. It just wasn't even in the cards. It wasn't even a question. And I knew that was what I wanted, even though I was the age that I was when I got married for the second time. When I got married for the second time, I was 40 or, going into 41. But with that being said, I always knew that I wanted to have more and more children. And I've had a couple of people even ask me, why'd you wait so late? And having the children, believe it or not, was not the problem. There were many, 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 many men I came across that were actually willing to give me a child. That wasn't an issue, but it actually was an issue. I knew what it felt like to raise a child alone, and I didn't ever, ever, ever want to do that again. I would have rather just had that one child and go with that for the rest of my life, even though I wanted more. But I just knew that I didn't want to raise any more children alone. I wanted to know what it felt like to raise a child in a two-parent home because I was so adamant about that, the children never came about. What's special is when I met my husband, he is older. He has me by about 6 years, but he wanted more children. And that was beautiful. We were mature. We knew what we wanted. We already had children. We knew we wanted to get married. We knew that we both wanted to try again. And when I met him, he was a breath of fresh air. He was very consistent. He was open. He was persistent. And we got pregnant with our first son, and he passed away. So that was devastating for me. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe that I had a child that's gone, that I had to bury. And that was a very devastating time for both of us, and it took a toll on us emotionally, spiritually, and on our relationship. But the Most High found it fitting to bless us with another child, and he is almost 7 months old now, and I had him at the age of 44. So our first child together passed away. He was 2 months old, and I had him at 42. This child I had at 44. My very first son I had at the age of 23. So my children were 19 and then 21 years apart. And I've had friends and people say, why'd you wait so long? Why are you having the, just negative things. They don't come out and it's not blatant and brash, but I can hear where the tone is going, and I usually cut it off because I don't want to hear any negativity because my son is already here. I don't want anybody dampening my spirits or putting any type of cast over my family or what we have going on and what we're trying to do. And if the Most High blesses us with more until we're 50 and 60 years old, then so be it. And that's what we're going to do because that's what I want. That has always been my heart's desire. And I want to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, if you are older and you want children, don't let anyone talk you out of that. That is your heart's desire for a reason. Even if it's friends and family, you shut that thing down. You shut it quick. Don't let anybody speak anything over your life. All right? I just wanted to take a little bit of time just to explain and to encourage those out there who may be having issues, or maybe you think you waited too late, or you'll never find the one, or whatever the case may be. There are different many avenues that you can take. You can adopt. There are other medical things you can do if it's actually physically an issue of having a child, or if it's just not coming across the right person. It's doable, and you can do it. My husband and I met when I was almost 40, and then we got married, like I said, when I was 40, and he was already, he was 46 or 7, I believe. And he was older and he was mature, but he knew what he wanted. So the age didn't matter. It wasn't even something either of us even considered. It wasn't even an issue because it was what we both wanted. And so that's what we went for. So if that's what your heart desires, you go for it. Don't let anyone speak over you. And I just want to reiterate that words have power, and what you accept has power. If you accept what other people are telling you what you can't do, then you may as well go ahead and accept that fate for yourself. Don't listen to it. Cast it down. Listen out of respect if it's people close to you, or family, or family or close friends or parents or whatnot. But you stand right there in their face and you look them in the face, be like, okay, I hear you, but I don't accept that. This is what I want. At my age, I understand the consequences, and I understand what could happen, but my desire is much greater than any fear that anyone could put inside of me. And that's what you need to return back to anyone speaking anything over your life. So if you desire children, no matter your age, you do what you need to do to try to make that happen, because regret will eat you if you never try. If you try, you can say you tried. But if you don't do anything to pursue what your heart desires, you're going to have regret. And so 40 is not too old. I'm seeing 45 and 50-year-olds having children. For men, it's a little easier as they get older. For women, it's a little harder. I'm not going to sit here and lie to anyone. But do not sit and do nothing if that's what you want. In addition to this, cast down anything any medical professionals might say to you, because it is just their job and their jargon. After the age of 35 in women, you are naturally considered a geriatric pregnancy. So don't be deterred or get upset or offended by that term or the jargon that they use. That's just the medical terms that they use. And you can do the same thing. You don't have to say it to them, but you can say it to yourself. You can say it under your breath right after they say it, just so that you're casting down anything negative being spoken over you while you're trying to be positive in your process. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for listening. You be blessed. If you are an older person and you want to have children, I want to hear your story. If you have any questions or comments for me, I'd like to hear them as well. Blessings.